Oh, okay. Hey, what's going on, everyone? It's me, Mr. Mario, and welcome back to another episode of Thrifty Gaming Pickups. For anybody who does not know, this is a series I do here with my dog Lily, where what we do is I give her a few treats, and I like to collect and pick up video game related things. And of course, like many people, I like to get some good deals on them. So when I was going to garage sales, thrift shops, yard sales, and just like getting some general good deals and sales in general years ago, I decided to make a little bit of a series out this where really it's pretty low key, where I usually just sit on the floor, talk to you all, hang out with my dog Lily here. She gets to eat some treats, and we go over the games and deals that I picked up, tell a few stories along the way, have some fun. This is on my second channel here. If you want something on the main channel that is a little bit more edited and everything, you can check out my main channel, Mr. Mario 2011, linked down below in the description. But either way, if you kind of just want to sit back, relax, see Lily eat some treats and have some fun here, and check out some video game deals, this is the right show for you, hopefully. Either way, let's see if we can get Lily to the bed. Hey, Lily, can you come over to the bed? Bed. All right, cool. And there you go. She will do whatever she can for these. That's the last one I have in my pocket. So let's go ahead and sit down, and I'm going to show you all what I got here, and we'll hopefully have a little bit of Lily's input with all of this. She's standing up already, my goodness. All right, so sitting down here, kind of checking everything out. As you can see, we got a whole lot of nice stuff from the last episode here, and these are a few pickups from a few different places. It's been over the last few months or so since the last episode I recorded, and on top of that, there's been some travel with everything as well too. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do the oldest pickups to the most recent ones here. I want to say these ones were around the same time, so you know what? Let's go ahead and just bust some of these out of here. I am going to have to pull up my phone real quick because I'm doing this off camera. As I said, we are really casual about this here. I don't remember the exact prices on a couple of these, but I will be able to get them to you all. Here we go. So this is what I did. As you can see, I actually got some Switch stuff. A lot of Switch stuff compared to what I usually pick up here, and two of them are import games. Now I end up getting this right here, not Ada, we're going to talk about that later, but I end up getting Pikmin 1 and 2. So this is just Pikmin 1 and 2 on one cartridge. They have been remastered in nice, lovely HD over on the Switch. End up getting that. And I also end up getting Super Mario RPG. Now, as you can see, compared to the other Switch games I have, these ones here are import games, because these ones are ESRB. This one is, I want to say, from Hong Kong, and this one is Sero, so that is from Japan. And the reason why these ones are imports is because they were actually cheaper. I did a whole video on my main channel covering this, but in short, not every game. It's going to be your mileage may vary. But the nice thing is with the Switch, as well as the other modern systems, the Xbox Series, the PlayStation 5, the PS4, the Xbox One, the only like new system that is not region free out the box is the Wii U, and that's not even new, that's last generation. Either way, on the Switch here, the Switch is region free when it comes to physical games, which is really nice. And even like digitally, you can have, other marketplaces and such other accounts on your system is what I'm saying. So, what I do is sometimes I import games. Not only you'll get like some different cover variations, and I think it's a little cool just having, like the different text and such. But on top of that, if you import correctly, you can sometimes get better deals on these games. And I end up finding a pretty cool plug for new release Switch games. They don't have all of them, but it's not like an import shop you would think of. It's actually AliExpress, funny enough, and they are legitimate as well too. I unboxed these, covered them, everything in detail on that video. So what ended up happening was I ended up getting these two here, and I want to say by default, Super Mario RPG is $60 USD. Pikmin 1 and 2 is $50 USD. Both these were brand new, and the exact price I end up paying for them, I'm pulling off of here, before tax and I guess, well, I'll include the after tax. So after tax and everything, Pikmin 1 and 2 was $25.65, so about half price. And Super Mario RPG was $29.30, again, about half price. That includes the tax, and the shipping was free. So I was able to get about half price on the both these here. I do also want to say, if you hear me kind of sniffle a little bit, my apologies on there. I'm recovering from a little bit of a sickness here while I'm recording this. So there's that. Can't really be helped. But I'll do my best to kind of, go work around that as I have been. So like I said, that was the price for these two games. I thought I was able to get a pretty good deal on them, about half price on each of them. And again, brand new, not even used. And the nice thing is as well too, your mileage may vary here, but these two are really just the same build of the game, essentially. The cartridge is going to differ, but they are playable in English just fine. So even Super Mario RPG, I borrowed a copy of it like when it first released, and I had a save that was just a bit into the game, and my save was able to work just fine. I didn't have to start over. You don't have to convert your save or anything. But again, your mileage may vary. You just have to look that up between game to game. So those were the two that I was able to grab. Now we're just going to move over a little bit here, and Lily, I'm going to give you those two brand new games. You got some brand new Switch games. Okay, she's not that crazy about them. Either way, the next step I ended up doing was, at one point, my girlfriend and I actually ended up traveling for a few days to the LA area, specifically to Anaheim. This one is not a Thrifty gaming pickup itself, but my girlfriend's a pretty lucky person to the point where she was able to get a vacation stay like at a hotel for a few nights for free. Yeah, she'll just be winning stuff like that. So that's why we end up using that opportunity to stay in a hotel for free, and we went out to Anaheim. What ended up happening, though, was, of course, I wanted to check out some game stuff. So there was one game store that we went to, and it was World 8. Now, the last time I went to the LA area, which was last year, I ended up going to the World 8 location in Little Akihabara, but I had not gone to the other location that they had. So it was cool. I wanted to go there. I hadn't seen it before. And we were actually looking at the site beforehand, and it was funny because I looked there and I immediately saw something where I was like, that's what I want. I want that. I want that. Like, so you're not surprised when I pick it up. And she was kind of laughing. She said, okay, cool. So the thing that I really wanted was Bomb Rush Cyberpunk on the PlayStation 5. I'd actually been wanting to play this game. I did not know they did a physical release of it, and on top of it, I think this, yep, it is through IM 8-bit. This was not a deal or anything by any means. It was just, I saw that they were stocking it in store, and I knew that we were going to be there within the next week or two when we were looking it up, so I decided to pick it up. It is brand new, as you can see, and it was, I believe, $50. But again, this was a game I wanted to pick up, not necessarily a deal, but I did grab it through there. I was also looking around as well, too, and when I was there, I also ended up seeing a game I did not have, which was Tekken Tag Tournament 2 for the Xbox 360. I actually never ever played this game, and I really liked the first one on PS2 growing up. But it is complete. It is in great condition as well, too. It's got everything in there, and this here was $15, so a fair price for it. Next up, there was also a display case, and I ended up seeing this in there, which was this Resident Evil 4 Ada Wong figure. And funny enough, it actually wasn't me initially. No, I think I did see it. I pointed out to my girlfriend because not only she loves Resident Evil 4, she loves Ada Wong as a character, and she got excited to see it, and I asked, hey, do you want it? And she said yes. I was like, okay, cool, let's grab it. So I asked for this, and it was funny because when the employee grabbed it, he looked at it, and he was like, oh, I didn't even know that was in there. And then it was funny because it had a giant sticker across this, and when we end up pulling it off, I actually end up seeing here that this thing has been brand new for about 20 years now, because this is not from the Resident Evil 4 remake. No. This is the original Resident Evil 4, which I thought was really cool to see. So that's what we end up grabbing. This here was $5. I end up immediately giving it to her. She was super happy about it. She was super thankful, but she's kind of just had it on display. So it's still going to be sealed probably for the foreseeable future, but just cool to see. And one of those moments as well too that kind of shows that the limited edition stuff like this that you maybe get in games and all that, I'm not even sure if this came with the game or this is just a promo item. I think this just a promo is what it looks like. Usually money-wise ends up being pretty worthless, but to the right person, it can really be worth something sentimentally. So that's what she ended up grabbing. I'll probably try and put a photo of this in. I just forgot to bring it here. But there was also a Sega t-shirt that I thought was really cool. And I ended up seeing it on display there, and I asked about getting one. And my girlfriend was just like, man, I wish you didn't see it because I was going to secretly buy it for you, but now I can't. So there was a cool Sega t-shirt that had every single console that Sega had released on a timeline. And it was really cool. Big shout out to the employees at World 8. If you're in the area there, the LA area, definitely check out World 8. However, I ended up seeing that there, and the employee was like, oh, actually, yeah, we have those shirts. As a warning, though, it is big. We only have big versions of the shirts. I was like, oh, what size do you have? They're like, they're big. They're large, but you know what? We'll just give them to you. And I was like, wait, are you sure? And she went to the back. She gave us 2 shirts and just gave them to us for free. And I was really thanking her for it. And she said, yeah, we have a lot of these shirts, but the problem is not only they're big, but we just can't get rid of them. We've had them for a long time. So honestly, you're doing a favor for us just taking them here. And I asked how they got them. And I guess they said that like they knew someone who had a family member who worked at Sega, who ended up getting a bunch of those shirts given to them, and then he brought them to the store. And I was like, so you're quite literally telling me that someone's uncle works at Sega? And she thought about it, and she's like, yes, that's what happened. And we started laughing about it. But yeah, it's not pictured on here. I am going to put up a picture in post. But yeah, we end up getting 2 of those shirts. So it's a really cozy shirt. It is a little bit big on me because I don't typically wear large, but it's a nice like house shirt to wear. And then even my girlfriend was like, you know, I really wanted a big shirt like this, and it's comfy, so it works out. So I was just going to get one. We ended up getting 2 of them, and it was free. So really nice of them, and that was the only game store I went to when I was there that trip, but I thought it was a pretty worthwhile trip. I can check with Lily to see if she... Oh, actually, she's interested. Okay, she's not interested in Ada Wong anymore. All right, that's unfortunate. There we go. Okay, cool. So the next stop I ended up making was actually at a convention. So I do have this here. I was invited as a creator to this right here, Midwest Fest. Now this was exciting, not just because it was really cool to go, but on top of that, this is actually the first time that I had ever gone to any festival like this professionally, like as Mr. Mario 2011. So I was invited there. They actually wanted me to do like a panel or something originally, and I was like, hey, I'd love to go, but like I don't really want to do that. I'd kind of just like to like come to the show, like hang out, you know, talk with people and stuff. Is that okay? I just don't really want like any kind of like anything big. I just don't want a spotlight on me. Really haven't done this before. I'd kind of just like to go. And they said, you know what? Totally fine. We're just going to make you a creator. That way you're still going to be able to come over for free. We can give you a +1 as well too. And you can just come and you can hang out. And I got some elevated privileges as well. Essentially, much like the vendors and like the other, how do I put it, like other creators and the vendors, we were able to get in on the first day a few hours early. We were able to do pre-check-in. We also had access to the lounge, which was just like a quiet place to hang out in, and they had some free food at the end. It was pizza, but they had some free food there, and they had water and soda that was available. So super nice of them, but I was really thankful to go. I only ended up going one day, I guess technically 2. I ended up going to the pre-check-in on Friday. Then I ended up going on Saturday and had a really awesome time. Actually stayed there longer than I anticipated, but really loved going. And Lily, you're going to be a creator now. There we go. So a big thank you and shout out to the folks at Midwest Fest for bringing me out. And it was actually All in One Gaming specifically that brought me out to Midwest Fest for that. So big thank you and shout out to them. I really appreciated that. But I went there and I started looking at the Artist Alley, which is also where all the vendors were at. So there was a few people who were selling video games. And of course, you know, I had to start looking. So there was one person who had a huge collection of specifically Xbox 360 stuff, but also a quite big collection of original Xbox stuff. They had consoles, they had games, they had some other stuff as well too, but it was mostly 360 followed by Xbox. So they were selling off these games, and unfortunately they didn't have any labels on them except for a few of the higher end ones, but they would really say, hey, you know, grab a game, we look it up on price charting and we can negotiate there. So there was a stack of games I ended up getting, and some of them were just a little too much that I didn't really want to pay, but I ended up getting these 3 from them, which coincidentally end up being only original Xbox games. I ended up getting here Gladiator, Sword of Vengeance, Crash Tag Team Racing, which that was the only Crash game I didn't have on the original Xbox, and Castlevania Curse of Darkness, which I was actually surprised I didn't have this on the original Xbox, but I decided to pick it up. This one was in really nice condition and complete and all that as well too. So all together, these were going to be $50. But I offered, hey, would you all take $40 for it? the guy said yeah. So for these 3 games, I ended up paying $40, which I was pretty happy with right there. And plus got to talk a whole lot about Xbox and Xbox 360. Found out there's some 360 games that are really skyrocketing in price because of YouTubers talking about them that are not good. One of them is called Infernal, I want to say, which at the time of recording this is like at least $100. And the other one is Bullet Witch. We were talking about it. We're like, yeah, those games are not good. They're like the Bullet Witch one specifically. I was talking to the guy. I was like, I heard this game's not even that great. And he's like, I know. It's not good. That's exactly why it's still here. Because people don't want to pay $300 for it. But that's exactly why I still have it in stock. So yeah, those were the 3 games I ended up grabbing there. The next vendor I ended up going to was where I got the rest of these games here. So I was pretty surprised overall. I ended up getting this here, Forza Horizon 2, where I ended up getting it from this other vendor because the vendor here wanted $25 for it. I ended up finding it at another vendor, still the same, you know, complete and all that. Well, as complete, like, look, this is annoying, although it's kind of just standard now. When I say complete, that's all it is. It's just the game disc, the art, there's nothing in there, unfortunately, which I really hated that trend. I really like, look at this. Look. You open this up, a thick manual. That's what I love. Either way, I end up seeing this for $16. So I said, you know, I don't have Forza Horizon 2 on 360. Some friends and I in my Discord server were actually talking about this because I have this on Xbox One. I bought it on release. I played through it. I liked it. I like the first one more, but I like this one. But apparently, it was such a downgrade on 360 that it kind of plays like a whole different game. But because I had it on Xbox One, I never played it on 360, so I said, you know, let me go ahead and grab this one here. I also ended up grabbing Need for Speed Pro Street, which I only played a little bit of years ago. I had a disc-only version, ended up selling it, but this one was a complete copy. For $10, I said, you know what, let me go ahead and grab that. Then I ended up grabbing a couple of Switch games right here that I did not have. This one, Super Mario Bros. Wonder. This one, as you can see, was $45. I said, you know what? It's here. I'm going to grab it. I've been wanting to play it, so let's get Wonder. And Legend of Zelda Tears of the Kingdom. Not that this is a bad game. I'm not saying that by any means, but when it came out, it was the wrong time for me. I was just not really feeling a big RPG like this, so I remember I actually borrowed it when it released. And I played 30 minutes of it, and that was about it. So, hey everyone, if this sounds a little bit different, which I know it does, yeah, my camera audio just completely cut out for the next about 2-3 minutes, so I'm just going to go back and re-narrate this kind of in real time. But that was $40, I was able to grab that. The last thing I ended up getting here ended up being this Switch Lite, and it was funny because I ended up seeing it, the seller ended up having a couple of tables. I checked out this Switch Lite. It is in pretty good condition, aside from just having a few smudges, which can easily be cleaned off. It has some scratches, which aren't too bad, but you can also tell that it has been, well, lovingly used right here. Maybe not so lovingly. It did not come with any games. It did not come with a charger. It did come with a 32GB micro SD card, but honestly, it was a pretty crap brand, so I'm going to be replacing that once I mod it. But I did buy this because the intention was I did want to buy a Switch Lite in order to modify. I will have to do a few other tweaks, like replace not thermals, but replace the thumbsticks right there. But aside from that, it seemed to be a good deal that I was looking for. Now, the funny thing is here, it was sitting on a table to the side of this seller. It ended up coming with this case, and it was labeled for $85. And then at one point, it was sitting there, and I looked around a little bit, and he ended up having another Switch Lite. It was a purple one. It said that it came with a screen protector, so this one was sitting on one table. On the other table, he had the purple one, another one with a screen protector on it, and it was $150. So that's when I ended up just going over to the seller, and I asked, hey, I just got to be honest, I'm kind of wondering, is there anything wrong with this Switch Lite right here? Because this purple one is $85, but this one is $150. And I'm just wanting to know if there's any difference there. And it turned out that the table I was looking at was from that seller, but it was his brother-in-law's items. So he was looking at it, and he ended up saying to me, if that's what I'm competing with, and I'm actually shocked it's so cheap. Like, he could have sold it for like at least $100. Like, I'm shocked he priced it so low, but on top of that, I'm shocked it's still here for $85. So he ended up grabbing the Switch Lite. He turned it on. It was initialized, like it was like freshly wiped. So he went through the entire setup process and he tried it out. And he said, "No, man, there's nothing wrong with it. It works. I think my brother-in-law just priced it really cheap. I think that's it. I mean, the only thing is it doesn't have a power charge. It doesn't have a charger with it. But you can pay, $20 for a charger." And I was like, yeah, I'm not too worried about that. But I told him, I was like, hey, I'm going to go ahead and grab that. So funny enough, while I had this stack of games, because I was getting these two games, and the Switch Lite with the ill-fitting case, and like, look, this is how it was. Like it doesn't fit in there properly at all. But I wanted to get all those, and then I end up running into a friend. He quite literally turned the corner. I saw him. I started talking to him, and then him and my girlfriend and I were all going to talk about something. So I took all this stuff. I went to the cell. I was like, "Hey, could you please hold on to this? I am gonna buy it. I'll just be back in a few minutes." He was cool about it. So we end up chopping up for about 30 minutes or so. And then when I came back, I said, let me go ahead and finish my purchase. So altogether, everything here was originally going to be $196. I ended up throwing a dollar value to him. He threw one back at me. I tried to negotiate down, and he was like, I mean, man, I'm already giving you a good deal on the games here. And technically the Switch isn't even really mine. And that's already a pretty good deal. This is the lowest I can go. It was still a good deal, so I said, okay, cool, let me give you your cash. So for these two games, and for the Switch Lite with the case, I ended up paying $175 for those. So really, you could say, if you want to kind of, have it up and everything, going from 196 to 175. If you kind of want to math it out in a way, like divide it in half or so, I pretty much paid $75 for this, which I was really happy with that there. The only thing is going to be here, like I said, I'm going to put a screen protector on. I'm going to replace the SD card once I get around to modifying it and everything. And the case, though, I am happy I'm recording this here, because usually when I finish recording these, I integrate, everything I picked up into my library. But I am going to be donating this case, or just like, we got a donation pile of just stuff that, we're going to be donating. And then I'm going to throw this in here immediately, because this is a white case. More, I should say, this was a white case. So even for my regular Switch, I'm like, I don't really want to use this. I'm good. I got cases. I'm okay on that. But yeah, there we go. So I was really happy with that. Or you can say it's Lily. There, you get that. Anyways, that has been this episode of Thrifty Gaming Pickups. As you can see, we got a few import titles. We had to go all across the country for some, and some others here we were able to get from a convention, and we did a little bit of negotiating. We were able to get some good deals on things. But that's about it for this video here. This is Mr. Mario, signing off. Thank you all for watching, everyone. If you enjoyed this episode of Thrifty Gaming Pickups, a like would absolutely be appreciated. If you didn't like it, a dislike is fine as well, too. But as I always say, if you dislike this episode, that's okay, but you are going to make this happy dog here very, very sad.